Happy Sunday, everybody. Steve Ritter here. So I was reading in Psalms the other day. I wanted to share some things. Think about this a lot. Uh, I'm a big history fan. You know what they say about history is those that fail to study history are doomed to repeat it. So I remember when I was all the years that I've been reading the Bible, and I could never understand how Israel, all the times that they would drift away from the Lord, and inevitably trouble would come on them. And you read through the book of Judges, and it's like this sine wave of faithfulness that falls away to depravity and worshiping false gods, and an oppressor comes and the people call out to the Lord, and the Lord sends a judge into Israel to help save them and bring them back, and then they come back and then right back down. And it just over and over again. And how could they not learn? And I was reading in Psalms 111, verse 4, He has caused His wonders to be remembered. The Lord is gracious and compassionate. And I'm sorry, verse 2 is what I want to read. Verse 4 is good. Verse 2 is what I want to read. Great are the works of the Lord. They are pondered by all who delight in them. And I think about that a lot. I just, the works of the Lord are great. And you sit and you think about them. You appreciate what God does for us and our lives and the hand that He takes. I thought it was always interesting that when it talks about the Lord being angry and at people, that I think the thing that upsets Him, one of the things that upsets Him the most, is when people think that He's there, that He's alive, that He's out there, but that He doesn't take a hand in what we do, that He just sits back and watches. I think of all the things, that's one of the things that angers Him the most and upsets Him the most, because what kind of father is that? I mean, how would I feel as a father if my kids felt like I was just kind of there and not a part of their lives and couldn't care less about them, when I love them dearly? And I can understand how he'd be upset about that. But he's a part of our life. He's in our life, and we should think about that and appreciate that. And I think about all those sine waves of times, up and down, and you just and the people would forget and take for granted, and faithfulness to the Lord and leaning on the Lord, and you're on this upward trajectory, and eventually you get to the point up at the top where everything's going great, you don't have any worries in the world, and you forget who got you there, and you take it for granted. And in like in Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 9, it says, only be careful and watch yourselves closely, so you do not forget the things your eyes have seen, or let them fade from your heart as long as you live. Teach them to your children and to their children after them. Moses is talking about that. It's like, I mean, the people of Israel, God led them out of Egypt to the promised land, and they're going through the wilderness on their way, and they stopped by, got the Ten Commandments, and then they're on their way. I mean, they're on their way up to the promised land, and all of these wonderful things happening. And it's I mean, if the people of Israel who saw all of the wonders that God did in Egypt, and the Passover, and all of those things, I mean, they were eyewitnesses, and then they turn around and are complaining and whining and crying, and it's like, I mean, they saw with their eyes and they fell away. So how much more, in these days when we need to have faith. I mean, I think there are miracles today, but I mean, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of years that passed, and the people fell away. I mean, I just think about the last 30 years and how much has changed and how much people have forgotten and taken for granted. And it's not hard to imagine, and it's sad. I just don't forget. Don't forget what God's done for us, done for you, and appreciate. And just like the verse says in Psalms 111, we need to, great are the works of the Lord. They are pondered by all who delight in them, and ponder them and think about them. Think about what the Lord's done for us. So I do, and I sit back every day, just try to, first thing I do when I wake up, I try to thank God for the day and all he's done and given and watching over me. And think about that. Think about it a lot and appreciate it. So I hope this was a blessing again. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Okay? And I'm sorry I've been a little bit lax on the videos and doing the videos. I don't have a kitchen to cook anything, and I'm kind of like, okay, been pretty busy at work. What do I do videos on? So I think I'm going to try a couple of different things and put some different variety out there of videos and kind of get back in the game a little bit. So I'm sorry I've been slacking off. But this is Steve Ritter signing off. We'll see you next time. Happy Sunday, everybody.